Hello everybody, how's it going? Christian from Treasure Town here, and man, we have a really awesome hunt ahead of us. Basically, I purchased a currency collection. It was a wide variety of items, but I didn't look at the currency super closely, so we're going to be checking for any rare serial numbers, star notes, and there's also a fair amount of these 1928, it seems, and we're going to be making sure that there aren't any of the rare series. Star notes on the old stuff is a lot better than, say, a star note on the silver certificates, but I'd still be excited to find any of it. Also look for, any errors, basically anything that's going to make one of these worth a lot more. In terms of their values, these are probably worth like $1.50 each or so. You might see them on eBay for a little bit higher, but that's generally a basic number. Then the 1928s are a little bit better. Those can sell for, $8 to $10 if it's a good condition one, though. I also think that I saw a fair amount of 1953 and 1963, and I certainly paid up, but I didn't pay too much attention to any of the special details on the notes. So we're going to be taking a look note by note. Hopefully we can come away with some cool extra finds that would make a nice difference on the bottom line in terms of getting my money back. And I think I'm going to start with the $1 bills. The valuable stuff is going to be all these twos, because most of these, so what we're going to be looking for is anything that's in really good condition, anything that's 1928 C, D, or E, though I think I didn't see too many of those varieties when I was kind of flipping through. I think it's almost all 1935, 1957. I'll have to double check that, though. There's also 1934 $1 silver certificates, so hopefully we can find some of those. And obviously star notes are like birthday notes. Here it says 1975, but say it was like 01, 02, 1975, that would be January 2nd. So I'm pretty much just going to go through these quickly and talk just a little bit about kind of my philosophy. These notes are kind of, they're fun to purchase, but it's not like I can pay up a lot for them because there's limited opportunity for them to like come back super, super valuable. Again, just really paying attention to those serial numbers, making sure, oh, nice, that nothing slips by. So I'll show this one off, 1935E, and I think that it's not going to be super valuable, any of the star notes really from 35 or 57, but this one, it's going to command a little bit more than, maybe this is like $1.50. This might be a $3 or a $4 note, something in that range. Though when they get really, really nice condition, then that star is going to make a lot more of a difference than if it was a regular note with no star in the same good condition. It's like outsized performance as it gets in better shape. Still not seeing much in the way of anything. I think that my plan, I want to say I paid like 120 per 100 of these. I forget exactly what that number came out to be, but I can sell these probably quickly for about 150. And there's another star note. Nice. I wonder if there's some that are rarer than others. 1935E as well. Take a look at the back. Same as we're used to today. But so that's kind of a cool find. I'm curious to see how many we'll find as well. But this is kind of something where I can pay a certain amount. I'll know that I'll make a little bit of money, but I'm not expecting to do super well, or it's not this type of thing where I'm really selling too many individual notes. It's more just about going along in bulk. They'll also factor in nicely for my grab bag to get kind of a steady stream of slightly better, or not better, but like it's a notable numismatic item. There's another, and I wonder if the 1935E was a really common year for the star notes. Still no crazy serial numbers or anything, but that's our third star note there. And I wonder, another thing that's kind of an important thing to note is all these notes say 1935, so here's a slightly lower, that's the lowest serial number we've had so far, 122381. We'll see if we can't get something lower than that. So all of these say 1935 or 1957, but they weren't all printed in and I'm going to still stop. We got another star note here. Nice 1957B. So that's probably later than 1957A and just series 1957. I'll talk about that, what that means in a little bit, or pretty much now. That's what I was getting at before. Basically, they'll assign a date, and then they'll do a bunch of different series. There's a 777's note, and it's actually kind of crisp, so maybe I'll pull it to the side. So like at first it's 1935, then maybe 1938. I don't know the exact dates. Then they start doing 1935A. Then a few more years pass. They start doing with the 1935B, C, D, E, kind of working their way up. And sometimes what that creates is a note where a specific year is a little bit more valuable, or a specific like series number. I don't think that has super significance in this case on the $1 bills. But that's something that we're going to have to look out for when we get to the $2 bills from 1928. Whoa. Wow. This is a cool note because take a look at, that looks like an error. I don't know if this is really significant or not, but I've never seen it like that. So it certainly stands out that these numbers are printed on the America. Did not see that when I bought it. I don't think that that's going to be wild, but like I've never seen that. That's definitely an oddity, and I'm going to be learning more about that because, yeah, that does not seem like how it should be printed. So, fun note. I'll see what I can find out about that. That's, I did not expect to find something where it's like there's a little bit of an error. Can't tell if this is fake or not. 1935C. It's probably just old and worn, but that error is kind of cool. Also, fun fact is that there's only odd numbers on there, which doesn't really do anything super special, but kind of has a cool effect for people who like weird number combinations or something. Let's see. We've also, I don't know. I don't even really know anything too crazy to look for in terms of errors that I've seen on these types of notes. Sometimes it's like there's a large line running through it. It's like a physical error, similar to how we had the physical error of the numbers being printed on top. I'm going to move these to the side and just kind of keep on going here. But I'd love to find a birthday note. There's actually a story. I don't know if I've ever really talked about it, but there was a viewer that was watching one of my note hunting videos. There's a cool star note. Very nice. 17, 69, 38, 54 is the numbers. That makes, I think, our fifth star note. Wow. And he was watching one of my bill hunting videos, and I always pull out another star note. Very cool. 1935D. Always pull out any note that is a birthday note, and I get super pumped about it. I'm like, if you know somebody who has this, let me know. And it was actually this viewer's dad. So I think looking back, I probably shouldn't have done this. I just sent them the note. I was thinking, if you can find somebody who has your birthday note, it's pretty like reasonable to pay, say like, I don't know, I could see people, I would pay $40 or $50 if somebody had my birthday on a serial number on a $1 bill. That's close. 0505 could have been like May 5th, 4336. But what I'm saying is, I think it would be a cool business to like make a nice frame and then like frame these bills. You get another star note, sweet, 4286-8708, and get a nice frame and like a nice write-up and really make it presentable and like a high quality nice thing for people to go out and purchase for a friend or a dad or something like that, with their birthday note number. I think that the model would probably be to use, there's another all odd note. The model would probably be to do it with ones, because like I'm not going to pay $500 for a $100 bill with my serial number on it. I'd rather pay, like a $40 or $50 premium for whatever note I'm going to be purchasing, and I'd rather tie up $50 than $150. I don't know if you can kind of know what I'm saying. It would also be really cool to get star note birthday notes. I think that I've had that one or two times, and I've still got them up in my room. But that's just kind of like a mini business idea that I don't think, I'm the only person who's doing. Like, it's not like, maybe that's $1 million idea, but I think that's just kind of a cool thing. I'd say go for it if you can. Try to give as much knowledge as I can to my viewers out there. So I just thought that was kind of a cool business idea. I'm not seeing too much else in the way here. We're kind of wrapping up. There's a few kind of crisp notes, but they're not exceptional quality by any means in these $1 bills. Then we're going to transition over to the Red Seal $2 bills, where there are some potential for big finds given the years that we've got represented. Excited about that. But I mean, I'm pretty pumped. If we just look back at what we did here, didn't see anything in those ones. We've already got kind of a nice assortment of $1 star notes. Again, value's not crazy, but it's still worth separating them. I don't think this note is like crisp enough where maybe I'll pull it to the side, but I originally did it from the sevens. I don't think that it's really, it's only like 3 sevens. And then this one, it's not low enough of a serial number where I'll keep it. But now we are on to the stack of the $2 bills. And now it's time for this huge stack of what seems to be mostly 1928 $2 bills. And the ones that we're going to be looking for, any star note would be awesome on the 1928s. If it's from a little bit older, then it's, it's got a nice premium, but like the 1928 would be awesome to find a star note. Then we're also looking especially for the 1928A and 1928B series numbers, which or letters. We're going to be looking right there. Apparently 1928C is like the third best, but I didn't see too much price history that indicates there would be anything crazy. But I think what I'll do is I'll try to separate them out. I'm still looking for star notes, or any errors like we found last time would be great. But the way, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go through these quickly and separate out anything that's a C, which it seems like we were actually getting a decent amount of, and then anything that's in better condition is also going to be, and a lot of these are reasonably crisp. It's not like they're uncirculated. They've for sure seen time in, out there. These are actually pretty close to each other. 8999, 7342, 7313. I wonder if we've got all. That would be cool if we had all of them. I doubt that will come to fruition. We're still looking for interesting serial numbers. Like this is actually a pretty crisp note, but it's such a shame that there's this bending at the end of it. But there's a few more 1928 C's, and I'm going to have to do a little bit more research as to whether these are actually better notes, and certainly the writing will not help. That's never a great idea on any currency. 1928A, I think, if I remember, that was a slightly better note to find. It's got some bends in it, but that is definitely something that I'm going to be pulling to the side for now and doing a little bit more research on later. More 28C notes, and then I'm excited about these. I feel like they're pretty reasonable in terms of their condition, not like overly worn or anything like that. And then the 28F apparently is not that rare, but we haven't really seen too much of it, instead opting for what seems to be mostly G, and I'm not really doing a great job of sorting these, and a good contingent of C. But I'm also kind of curious to hear what types of notes you guys enjoy collecting the most, because it's really not something that we see too much when we're dealing with collections. Sometimes there's a few laying around. This is pretty unique to be able to hunt in this kind of quantity. And this is interesting. I just noticed again, let me pull those to the side. They're pretty close in number, 6132, 6340, 4089, but obviously we don't have that many notes in front of us where we could connect the dots, so to speak, all the way up through it. So just kind of makes me wonder about what the history of these look like. Lots of 2s and 4s. We didn't find any trinary notes, which is when it's only 3 numbers kind of represented in terms of the serial number, which I was a little bit surprised at, because I think normally you would just kind of like playing the odds with the size and amount of currency that we're going through. But I'm actually still pretty excited about that 1928A that we were able to pull out. Is that our first one? Yeah. Just as I said it, 3s, 2s, and 0s on the 1928D. There you go. I don't think that that's going to add much value, but it certainly wouldn't take away anything, and it's kind of fun to see that. It'd be awesome to get something where it's like a repeater or something like that. If it's at 9497, 9497 again after it, those sorts of things are just kind of what I'm keeping an eye out for. And these have also all been 1928. So again, I paid up for them. I think I paid like they were almost all 1928, but I didn't, that 1928 is a nice bonus. And I was freaking out for a second. I thought that I had the 1928 star note, but this is in 1953. So it's a little bit later, still might have some value, but it's not going to be, anything wild. And this is more, seems like we've hit a pocket. We'll see. Hopefully not the rest are all 1963. 1963 again. They're kind of crisp. That's nice. 0101. Shame it isn't a birthday note, but another 1963. Oh no. Hopefully 1953 here. there we go. I'm going to hope that after this we get a string of these older $2. Let's check out the back for a second, by the way. Monticello there, featured with Jefferson, obviously, on the front of the coin. Just don't see these in circulation ever, ever, really. And clearly these did spend time in people's wallets, kind of out there in the wild. So I'm kind of curious, if our ancestors, or, a lot of my viewers would have potentially been using these frequently. How common these were essentially as a presence in people's pockets. If you could leave a comment, if you have some firsthand experience, I appreciate you sharing your story. And then, more 28G, 28F. Here's another C. That's going to be the big test because we've got all of these 28Cs. I could tell you if these were all 1928As that would be a huge cause for excitement. I don't quite think that they are, but at the same time, the website that I was looking at seems to think that they're slightly favored relative. Now, I'm also curious, sometimes there's big premiums for consecutive numbers, like when you have serial numbers that, you've got 9196, then 9197, and it's DA, the same exact number pairs. I could feel like that would be a much bigger deal on something like this than they'd be on these silver certificates. But people kind of weirdly collect them actively. I don't even want to call it weird. I think it's awesome that different people have different ways of dealing with, of collecting them themselves, getting excited about coins and currency. But it's kind of crazy to me how large of a difference that can make. And it seems like we're coming to the end here with a 28C, 28D. But man, I am pumped about this one. I'll go to a quick wrap up after I've sorted these and kind of show some of the highlights of our hunt. And we've got the final wrap-up. Looks pretty awesome. We've got the 1s and 2s that aren't super significant over there. The star notes with, I have no idea what that's going to end up being. My guess is it's like a $10 note, but if it's more, it might be like 5. Maybe nobody even cares. But it's enough off-center with the numbers that I think people will take notice. These don't seem super great. In terms of the C, there might be a few dollars premium, but it's not really anything. And I'll probably be selling most of those in bulk. If I, leave a comment if you want some. Maybe they'll be up in my store or something if I've got one. And then over here, these two, this is just a trinary, probably just going to get thrown in with the rest of the 1928Ds. This one, though, actually does have some relevance. 1928A, that might be like a $50 note or $40 note, something like that. So that's exciting. Definitely going to help me make a profit on this because I paid about the right money. I think I thought there were a few more 1953s and 63s in there, but did pay up for it. So that's what we've got. Exciting hunt. And I'll be letting you know if I get anything else like this and be making a video about it. Thanks for watching the video. I'd encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe for more content, and get in touch with me on my website, treasuretownYT.com, Facebook, TreasureTown, Instagram, @TreasureTownYT, or Twitter, @TreasureTown_YT, and I'll look forward to seeing you on some of my future vids.